Well, I think Zaha's initial idea to bring the city into the building, her idea of the urban carpet, that was her idea from day one, to make this a welcoming place in an urban context that would be open for all. And that's been the philosophy of the Contemporary Art Center from its very beginning.
Who can make this engagement to a diverse population base to interact with art? That was one of the major, to make art accessible to people. And there really Zaha's ideas came up to forefront. What she was talking about is that museums should be changed from the old notions of Greek temple up in the mount to right on the urban context in the center. She came in with this idea of creating what she called urban carpet, which is essentially the entrance is right on the street. There was no steps leading to it, no nothing, you just enter straight. That idea that people would see something, people who are not used to contemporary art, and say, well, you know, it's kind of interesting, let's walk in and see what's going on.
I believe the building just being on a prominent downtown corner, glass walls, says, come on in.
Then she has done this backdrop of as if the carpet is being rolled off to define the backside. And she brings in her circulation, which always plays a huge role in what she does. And she has been very much influenced by Corbusier, for example. And it's almost like flights of fancy as you're coming in and look at it. You are attracted by it. And as you're moving, you begin to see all these different spaces. The other part of it was that she herself made a point, and we're quite sympathetic to it, that we have to move away from the white cube paradigm of making museums. So we needed all different kinds of spaces, spaces that rise, spaces that moves, and so the question became how to do that. So doing this circulation system, she created spaces in which all these spaces are like little three-dimensional jigsaw puzzles. Some are high, some are low, some go 3-story high, some just 1-story high, and it's all putting it together to create gallery spaces, which is very, very unique. And it's like a constant bombardment of emotions as you face this, and it's never boring as you're moving through. It's always different. See, what you see otherwise is this white cubes. You just move through, and it's through artificial light, etc., and that's what you go through. Yeah, it's a very, very different experience.
We didn't want to create just a big warehouse for art. We wanted to create a building, a piece of architecture that would speak to the highest levels of architectural design, would have lasting power.
Previous notion of flexibility was that it is essentially a column, roof and floor construction of early modernism, in which you can really be very flexible on horizontally what a space is like. But the contemporary art is not like that. It also moves three-dimensionally. So in that sense, you can, what she has done, actually I would almost call it like magic that architects can create. If you look at the footprint, it's a very small footprint. And I, for one, and others, I think, are amazed when you walk in how interesting and how different spaces are. It could have been very boring if it was just horizontal spaces of that nature, even with horizontal flexibility. The flexibility really comes with three-dimensionally and different places. We did 2 buildings here in Cincinnati, one by Tom Main at the UC campus, and Zaha Hadid here, who had back-to-back Pritzker Prize after their buildings here. So Cincinnati, as a Midwest, is doing much better, taking far risk in this sort of situation than any of the East or West Coast